What is going on, Jet fans? Matt O'Leary back with another video, and today I'm going to be talking about two Carolina Panthers assistants who unfortunately lost their job when Frank Reich was fired, but I think the New York Jets should add them to their staff. Not necessarily now in season, because I don't think the Jets are making any changes in season, but I mean, if the Jets just completely run back this entire offensive staff in 2024, then I'm going to have a lot of questions. Look, I understand that Nathaniel Hackett's probably going to be safe because of his relationship with Aaron Rodgers. Like, my brain can comprehend that, but some of these positional coaches, I don't necessarily think you have to bring back. And I think it would probably be wise to get some new blood, new ideas in here, even if you got to keep Nathaniel Hackett. Like, again, I get it. I understand, but let's talk about two people the Jets could add. The second guy on this list, I've seen a lot of Jet fans talk about already, but I want to put a pin in that and wait till the back half of the video to talk about him. The one who actually interests me a great deal, and both do, but I really like this guy, is Duce Staley, the running back coach. He was a running back in the league from the early 2000s. You might remember him from his time in Philadelphia, and he spent a lot of time as the Philadelphia Eagles running back coach and assistant head coach as well. So he was the running back coach in Philly over two regimes from 2013 to 2020. He started with Chip Kelly. That was Chip Kelly's first year, 2013, and then finished up with Doug Peterson and was there throughout Doug Peterson's tenure when he was fired after the 2020 season. He was the assistant head coach under Doug Peterson from 2018 to 2020. So obviously well respected enough by a head coach, a good head coach in Doug Peterson, to get that title. So that's interesting. And then he was the Lions assistant head coach and running backs coach under Dan Campbell in 2021 and 2022. And he was the running back coach and assistant head coach under Frank Reich in 2023. That's three head coaches who've had significantly more success in the NFL than Robert Saleh. And that's not necessarily me coming out and saying like, oh, all three of those head coaches that I just rattled off, that he was an assistant head coach for are, the second coming, the next Bill Belichick, or, insert your favorite coach here. That's not necessarily what I'm saying but over three different regimes, three different respected head coaches, in the modern era of the last 5 years or so, I think there's something to that. And, he's had success with some really good running backs. I mean, LaShawn McCoy had two of his better years under Duce Staley on 2013 and 15, I believe, were the two seasons that he really popped off. But, I mean, the Jets, are we going to bat for Taylor Embry? Like, that's who the Jets running back coach is, Taylor Embry, current running back coach. I don't think he's done a great job. I mean, Breece Hall's obviously an extremely talented back, but they didn't exactly develop Michael Carter. Apparently, here's the perfect example. We are heading into week 13, and Izzy Abanikanda can't get on the field because he can't pass block. It's been since July. You're going on 6 months here. It's been a long time. Maybe not exactly 6 months, but it's been a really long time. Actually, if you want to go back to rookie minicamp, it's been longer than that. It's been a long time. And this is someone who played wide receiver, who was then a tight ends coach at Colorado in 2020, and is then the next year a positional coach at running back, a position he didn't play or hadn't coached at the NFL level before. He's the one who gets the job. It's just, I had some major question marks with the Jets offensive coaching staff over the last few years, and Taylor Embry is definitely one who I don't know if he has done enough to be like, yeah, he's definitely back next year. And Duce Staley, I think, is a better option. The second guy on this list is someone that Jet fans are really familiar with and someone they really like a lot, Josh McCown. First, maybe ask him if he can play quarterback still at his advanced age, because they don't have a backup quarterback or don't have anyone who really could play the position right now. But, in 2023, this was his first year as a quarterback coach with the Panthers. Supposedly, I know it didn't end well for him, right? But the highly reported rumor is that both Josh McCown and Frank Reich wanted CJ Stroud, and the owner really wanted Bryce Young. Guess who they end up with? Bryce Young, and things don't go well, and 11 games later, you're done. So I don't think that's necessarily an indictment. Bryce Young's play I don't necessarily look at as an indictment on Josh McCown. He played quarterback in the NFL from 2002, through 2020. The Texans almost hired him as a head coach. Remember that? Like, he was getting serious consideration for the Texans job in like 2021. Wild times. But anyway, in 2017, when he started 13 games for the Jets that year, he put up one of the better Jets quarterback seasons, which is, again, sad that we are here. Like, Jet fans over the last little bit, longer than a little bit, but the best quarterback seasons in modern Jets history are done by Josh McCown and Ryan Fitzpatrick, two journeyman, like, backup spot starting quarterbacks in 2017 and 2015. And Josh McCown, I mean, credit to him, man. He was pretty good in those 13 games. And unfortunately, he got hurt, and the 3 final games having to start Bryce Petty went off the rails. But 67.3 completion percentage, 2,926 yards, which is 225.1 yards per game, 18 touchdowns to 9 interceptions, a 94.5 rating. That's, if the Jets were getting that kind of production this year, they would have 7 wins. Like, it's absolutely insane. But yeah, Josh McCown was a good Jet, was definitely a good Jet. And obviously he's someone who wants to move up the ranks. He was interested in being a head coach, and this might be an opportunity for him to do that because, you know, obviously Aaron Rodgers is going to come back next year, but do the Jets take a quarterback? And not necessarily, I'm not even necessarily saying they have to take one in round 1. I don't think that would be wise, but I do think it would be wise to take a day 3 swing. And, you know, who knows, maybe in 2025 you're taking another quarterback, or, you know, your mid-round quarterback is showing signs of growth. But the moral of the story, if he is the one in charge of developing the next quarterback and working with Aaron Rodgers and this young kid, that'll probably get him to move up the ranks to a coordinator and then eventually a head coach. And right now, the Jets are employing Rob Calibri, a 33-year-old who was an offensive coordinator at the prestigious Wagner on Staten Island 5 years ago. He was a Broncos quality control coach in 2019 and 2020. And then before that, his job before that was the offensive coordinator and quarterback coach at Wagner. And then the Jets put him on their staff in 2021 to develop the number 2 overall pick. Bad. Obviously, we know Greg Knapp was going to play a really big role in that, and his untimely passing is still something that I think played a major role in why things went off the rails, for this team. But just, I don't think Calibri has shown that he is, again, deserving of sticking around. So I think both Josh McCown and Duce Staley would be major upgrades to this staff. And sure, with guys like Nathaniel Hackett and, Todd Downing and Keith Carter all probably returning, some of it might be just kind of rearranging the deck chairs on the Titanic a little bit, but you could still upgrade. You can't just go and throw your hands in and be like, it's going to be Nathaniel Hackett's offense, so what's the difference? It doesn't matter. I don't know. I don't think Taylor Embry and Rob Calibri are really all that great at their jobs. So getting 2 guys who I think are upgrades, I think is worth it. Let me know your thoughts on the subject down below in the comments. I'm Matt O'Leary. Subscribe if you're new. Give the video a like before you go. I'll catch you next time.